Darvish's decision was based in part on the number of reporters looking to get answers from him, and his desire not to create a traffic jam in the somber Dodgers clubhouse. But there also seemed to be a measure of accountability in his choice, as if he felt it was incumbent on him to sit in the spotlight and answer all of the questions about why he had pitched so poorly. Photo. "I had bad days," he said, "and that means somebody else had a great day. I try to think of it that way, and sometimes it works. Maybe this time it didn't work because I let my teammates down." Darvish, who came to the major leagues in 2012 amid a good deal of fanfare and joined the Dodgers in July, in a trade designed to fortify their chances to win a championship, is hardly the first player to stumble so profoundly in the series. There have been many of them over the decades and, as it turns out, Darvish's awful performance is a perfect match for the one turned in by Art Ditmar of the Yankees. In the 1960 World Series against Pittsburgh, Ditmar started games 1 and 5 for the Yankees and lost both of them, matching Darvish's 0-2 record. He also ended with the same ugly 21.60 ERA, now on Darvish's RSUM. And like the Dodgers in 2017, the Yankees lost that series in 7 games. In the aftermath of Game 7 on Wednesday night, Darvish's teammates did their best to keep him from feeling that he was the biggest reason they had lost the series. "It's never about one guy," Justin Turner nobly insisted. "It's about 25 guys. And we lost as a team." And Turner had a point. If Kenley Jansen had not blown a save in Game 2, if Clayton Kershaw had not blown 2 leads in Game 5, this series might have turned out differently. And yet Darvish's failures were particularly glaring because they put the Dodgers in big holes so early in 2 games, holes that the Dodgers couldn't get out of. On Wednesday night, with the fans in Dodger Stadium looking on, perhaps a little nervously, Darvish was unable to rebound from his struggles in Game 3. The leadoff hitter, the Astros' George Springer, doubled, and by the time the top of the first was over it was already 2-0. Houston. Advertisement. Continue reading the main story. The top of the second was no better. With the runner on base and the score 3-0, Darvish shook off a sign from his catcher, Austin Barnes, who had called for a slider, and instead threw a fastball to Springer, who drilled it into the left field pavilion for a home run. The Astros had a 5-0 lead that was both demoralizing and insurmountable. Photo. The home run by Springer. "That was a tough blow," said Kershaw, the Dodgers ace, who pitched 4 scoreless innings in relief after Darvish departed. To no avail. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, dismissed questions afterward about whether Darvish should have even started Game 7. Considering how poorly he had done in Game 3, some wondered if Alex Wood might have been a better choice. Or even Kershaw, who would have been starting the game on just 2 days rest. But Roberts didn't think either of those options was realistic. And even after the Dodgers had fallen behind 3-0 in the second inning, Roberts said he thought Darvish's pitches were good enough to allow him to face Springer for the second time in the game. It was a decision that might haunt Roberts for some time, but at least he had the right analysis of the outcome. Newsletter sign up. Continue reading the main story. Please verify you're not a robot by clicking the box. Invalid email address. Please re-enter. You must select a newsletter to subscribe to. Sign up. You agree to receive occasional updates and special offers for the New York Times' products and services. Thank you for subscribing. An error has occurred. Please try again later. View all New York Times newsletters. "I think anything other than a homer," he said dryly, "would have been considerably better." The one thing Darvish did do successfully was retire Yuli Gurriel to end the first inning. It was Gurriel, the Astros' first baseman, who made the racist gesture about Darvish's facial appearance after he homered off him in Game 3. The gesture initiated an uproar that led to Gurriel's receiving a 5-game suspension for the start of the 2018 season. It also put Darvish in the uncomfortable position of having to respond to a mess he didn't create, which he did with grace and without anger. In turn, Gurriel, perhaps taking a cue from Darvish, tipped his helmet to him before he batted for the first time on Wednesday night. "I just tried not to hit him," Darvish said. Many of Darvish's teammates rallied to his support after the incident created by Gurriel, most notably Rich Hill, the starting pitcher for the Dodgers in Game 6. When Gurriel came to bat for the fifth time in that game, Hill fidgeted on the mound before throwing a pitch so that the booing from Dodgers fans could resonate longer. After Game 7, Hill expressed his admiration for Darvish, and for any athlete who has the courage to compete, and potentially fail, in public. Whether Hill and Darvish remain teammates is not certain. Darvish will become a free agent, and while he said on Wednesday that he would like to return to the Dodgers, free agency can go in unpredictable directions. What is certain is that Darvish remains undeterred by what happened to him in the last week. "I would like to come back in the World Series," he said, "and I want to pitch better."